Here we go, guys. You can see the phone is on. And now let's just drop it right in. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing the Google Pixel 5. Shout out to Google for sending me this device to review for you guys on the channel. So thank you, Google. Guys, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. You can see how it comes packaged to you right here. Very nice retail box, hashtag Team Pixel, all the Google logos and branding you come to expect with the Pixel phones and their product packaging. As you can see from the front of the box, we have the Sorta Sage color. This is also available in just black. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. Here are all the package contents. First up, we have your quick start guide with your SIM tool tucked in the back of it. Then we have your USB Type-C to USB Type-C charging cable. We have your 18-watt power brick right here, USB Type-C, and your wall end. Then we have your USB Type-C to USB adapter for easy file transfer as you set up your new Pixel 5 by connecting your old device. Then we have the Pixel 5 right here. Let's flip it over to look at that Sorta Sage color. It looks fantastic. We have a nice aluminum back, and that color is beautiful. Now let's look at this phone in more detail. Here's a look at the Google Pixel 5's home screen on its beautiful 6-inch OLED display at 1080 by 2340 pixels, 432 ppi, HDR support, and smooth display up to 90 hertz. You can see in the top left-hand corner, we have our front-facing camera featuring 8 megapixels and a 2.0 aperture, recording 1080p video at 30 frames per second. Here it is from the side. You can see our SIM card tray. Here it is from the top. Here it is from the other side. You can see our volume buttons and our power button. Here it is from the bottom. You can see our USB Type-C port and our stereo speakers. Let's flip it over to the back side. You can see our 100% recycled aluminum enclosure with the Google logo, our fingerprint sensor, and our camera modules right here. This features a 12 megapixel lens and a 16 megapixel ultra-wide lens. This can record 4K video at 30 frames or 60 frames per second, 1080p video at 30, 60, 120, or 240 frames per second. This has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and it features the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G processor. So the Pixel 5 is packed full of a ton of great features. You can see on the home screen right here, we have a great live wallpaper by default, and it moves around depending on how we position and hold our phone, which is really neat. I love that wallpaper. Also, if you notice the red icon in the top, we're actually using the built-in screen recording functionality to record this video for you guys. Then we can swipe over here. You can see Google News curated for your browsing preferences. Then we can go over here. We can see all the apps that I went ahead and downloaded that we'll try out in this video. Now we'll go back to the home screen. You can see the default apps right here. Let's go ahead. Let's pull this down. Let's look at some of the icons we have. You can see flashlight, battery saver. Just a quick access to some of the main features that you'll be using with this phone. Here's nearby share. We can turn that on. It's like AirDrop for Android phones. We can share photos and videos. Battery share, we can quickly turn that on as well right here. Battery share allows us to charge devices using the wireless charger in the back of this phone. Then we have screencast. Now let's go into the settings. We can look at some of those in more detail. So let's pull it down. Let's pull up settings. Let's start at the top. You can see we'll go to battery first. Here we go. We can tweak all of our battery settings right here. Turn adaptive battery on or off. View the battery percentage. Here's our battery share settings. So we can stop the sharing at 10%. It can charge our Pixel Buds or other wireless devices. Now we can go back. We can look at our display next. You can see the brightness level, night light, adaptive brightness. We can also go to advanced, and there's smooth display. So you can see we can automatically raise the refresh rate from 60 to 90 hertz for some content. This does increase battery usage. Keep that in mind. Then we can go down to sound and vibrations right here. Couple great options here. First up is live caption. We can turn that on. You can see all the settings we can change. So it'll detect speech on your device and automatically generate captions for you. Then we can go back. Now we can select now playing. One of my favorite features is your Pixel phone can show you songs and the artist on your lock screen without you having to do anything. It's all in the background, never sends audio or background conversations to Google, so your privacy is protected. Then we can go back. Then you can see we have our storage settings right here. Out of the box, we got around 114 gigabytes of usable storage. Now you can see we've already used 27 gigs. But you'll have at least 100 and 110, 114 gigabytes of usable storage before you download anything yourself. The system taking up a majority of that, around 11 gigabytes. Then you can see tons of different options we could go over, learn more about our phone. Be sure to view the helpful tips and support section for your Pixel device. Now let's go ahead. Let's look really quick. We have some power button shortcuts. If you hold down the power button, you can see we can add a payment method, and then we can control all of our smart devices right here just by holding down the power button. So that's really a nice feature. Now let's go ahead. Let's look at some of our apps. First up, let's browse YouTube and let's check out the video quality and playback as well as the live caption feature. So hey, check it out. Here's our YouTube channel. Let's select our most recent video. It's the Pixel 5 unboxing. Let's play it. So far, so good. Everything looks great. Let's see if live captions kicks on.
Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing the Google Pixel 5. Shout out to Google for...
So you can see that right there and how accurate it is.
...on the channel. So thank you, Google. Guys, if you're interested in...
Pretty sweet, guys. And then if you want to get rid of it, you can just drag down to dismiss. But no issues at all with YouTube. Very responsive, very fluid, very fast. Now we can pull up Instagram. Here's Instagram, guys. You can check out what it's like to browse content on here. So we can see stories. We can see some Pixel 5 content right there. Look at how nice that screen is to be able to consume and browse content. You can check it out how responsive it is as we move up and down. Ooh, check out that Pixel content right there. So you can see everything. Nice green, great colors, very bright, very responsive, perfect for browsing Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok videos, any sort of social media content consumption online. Now let's go ahead, let's pull up Google Chrome. You can see we have The Verge loaded right here. Let's refresh it. And here we go. You can see what it's like to browse the web right here, whether it's tech news, Fox News, CNN, or sports news. Now we can go ahead, let's select an article. Here we go. Prime Day 2020 deals. Very responsive. No issues. You can see what it's like to scroll. Very simple and straightforward web browsing with a beautiful experience thanks to the 6-inch OLED display. Now you can see we have Asphalt 9 loaded right here. We're gonna do a quick race. You guys can see how fluid and smooth the gameplay is. Keep in mind, we're also recording the screen from the same phone as it's pushing out these graphics to play. So look at how smooth the gameplay is. Great sound, great graphics, and we got first place. Don't worry guys, if racing's not your thing, I have Call of Duty loading right here, so let's go ahead. Let's start this round so you guys can see what the graphics are like right here. Pretty sweet. Oh, let's go to the action. Let's get him. Oh, we got another one. Let's get him. Got him. Good. Let's go.
Reloading. Enemy contact.
What do you guys think of it, though? Check that out. Look at how smooth and fluid it is. We got a guy right there.
Changing mag.
Got him. Got him.
Reloading. Cover me.
Cleaning up house right here. Fluid gameplay and graphics. Now let's look at a couple quick benchmarking apps. First up, we got Geekbench 5 right here. It's a free app you can download if you want to test out your device. So you can see we can learn more about the Pixel 5 right here, Android 11. Qualcomm, we have 6 cores at 1.8, 1 at 2.21, and 1 at 2.4. Then you can see our compute right here. So our GPU, the Adreno 620, our resolution, and our PPI. Let's go back. Now we can look at our history. We already went ahead and ran the test today. So here are the results that we got. 594 single core, 1505 multi-core score. Here's some of the system information again that we talked about. Then you can see our single core performance right here. Feel free to pause and study it further. Here's some more of it. Then we start to make our way into multi-core performance right here. You can see more of the results. And there's the remaining multi-core scores. Now we can pull up Antutu benchmark. You can see the test that we ran earlier and the score that we got, 310505. You can see right there. We can go ahead, we can open that score up. We can actually see which percentage of users that we defeated. So our CPU score was 99.86.2, defeated 38% of users. You can see more of the individual scores right there. GPU defeated 29% of users, a score of 83.43.9. Our memory defeated 50% of users. You can see we got a score of 67.93.5. And then our UX defeated 48% of users with a score of 59.26.9. You can see that right there for Android 11. You can see some more hardware details from the app. Megapixels for the cameras, the battery capacity. So that's the benchmark results using Antutu. It wouldn't be a Pixel review without looking at the camera settings. So go ahead, open up the camera app on your device. You can see right away we have our camera settings. We have our ultra wide at 0.6x, 1x, and then 2x. We can easily adjust between those right here. And you can see the difference. Here's 1x. There's the ultra wide. You can start seeing further out in my studio. Just for fun, we can do that right here too. There's 1x, there's 2x, there's 0.6x with the ultra wide lens. Pretty sweet. So we have tons of different options depending on the mode we want to be in. We have night sight, we have portrait, camera, video. For video, we have the same options at the top. 2x, 1x, ultra wide at 0.6x. Then we have a slow motion mode, normal, and time lapse. To the right, you can see we also have if we hold that down, are video stabilization options, standard, locked, active, and cinematic pan. So choose whatever one you desire when filming your videos. Then we have the more section. You can see panorama, photosphere, and lens. Google Lens is awesome. If you've never used it, you should definitely check it out. Then we can go back and we can go to video. We can pull down our settings so you can see our options right here. 4K, 30 or 60. Full HD, you can see same thing, 30 or 60. And then we got slow-mo. We can also select this settings gear icon to take us into the settings for the whole camera. We can save the location, sounds, Google Lens suggestions, save selfie as previewed if you want. Social share, you can do that right there. Gestures, frequent faces, you can turn that on or off. You can view advanced settings. We can choose our framing hints if we want that on or off. Grid type. We have multiple grid types depending on your preference. Camera resolution, full or medium. Video stabilization, we can turn that on or off right here. Audio zoom's a cool feature. Zooming in on a subject boosts sound and reduces background noise. Then we have our feedback and our help section if you have any other questions. So that's a brief look at the camera and all its settings. Now let's go check out some of the photos we took. First up, let's look at some nighttime photos. Here's a regular nighttime photo at 1x of downtown. Then we have it with night sight turned on. Pretty big difference right there. Same thing again, but this time with 0.6x or the ultra wide. There it is with night sight turned on. Big difference. There's a front-facing selfie. There's front-facing selfie with night sight turned on. Then we can go to a regular picture at night. Now with night sight. Same photo without, same photo with. We can do that again for this house. No night sight. Now we have night sight turned on. Look at all the extra detail. Look at how different the photo is. Same thing again. We only have a couple of landscape lights on right here. And I don't think this is a bad picture at all with the amount of light we had outside. But check out night sight. Completely different. Unbelievable the change we get. Same thing right here. We just have a street light illuminating outside. Here's night sight turned on. No night sight, night sight. Same picture again now with the ultra wide. So just the street light. Now street light ultra wide with night sight. Amazing the difference right there. Then you can see a picture down the street, 1x. Now we have night sight. And we have that same picture again at 0.6x, the ultra wide. And now we have night sight turned on. And look at the difference between those photos. Again, same photo, 1x, 0.6x. So we can see a lot more on the left and the right side of our composition and what we're capturing with the Pixel camera. Now we can look at some daytime photos. Here's my dog, Doug, in portrait mode. Look at how good that picture is. He's perfectly outlined and it's got a nice soft background for us. Here's my sweet baby Lainey. You can see her in the stroller. Here's the storm drain with some pretty fall leaves. Now the next picture, you can see I did the 7x zoom. So there's the storm drain with leaves. Then I just zoomed in on some of the leaves, made sure they were in focus, snapped a picture, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Then here's a fall flower arrangement in portrait mode. If you can't tell, I love portrait mode. Then here's the same crosswalk during the day of downtown that we looked at earlier at night. You can see it with 1x regular mode. Then we have ultra wide. So a pretty big difference. Regular, ultra wide, we see more of the street and the sky. Then we have a portrait photo of a sign. Then we can see regular, ultra wide, regular, ultra wide, regular, ultra wide. Pretty big difference. But I want to point out with the ultra wide, if you've noticed, there's no fisheye distortion. There's no distortion here, which is really nice. That's what you want. You want that wide angle, but you don't want a distorted photo. Then we have beautiful fall scenery right here. Regular, ultra wide, regular, ultra wide. Portrait, portrait. And you can see we have the donut that I had earlier in portrait mode. It was delicious. Look at how good it looks still. Oh, I wish it was still available for me to eat right now. Then here's my dog, Doug, in the city again. So you can see regular. Then we have an ultra wide photo of him. So there's regular Doug and there's ultra wide Doug. Here's a 4K 30 frames per second sample video at night. You can see we have a street light illuminating out front of my house. There's a car driving by, a porch light on. You can see the image quality at night. 4K video, 30 frames per second. Raw audio from the Pixel 5's camera and microphone as well. Here's your raw 4K 30 frames per second video at night. I'm standing on my front porch. You can see the street light right there and the car's parked on the street. It's really dark outside. Look at the video quality at night here. You can see the neighbor's porch light. This is your raw mic audio as well from the Pixel 5. And you can see how good of a job the camera's doing at night in a low light environment. Now you can see the raw night video from the front-facing camera. The front-facing camera is at 1080p 30 frames per second. In a very dark, low light environment, you can see the video quality coming from that front-facing camera right here. Here's another 4K 30 frames per second video at night. Looking at the downtown, you can see the video quality right here. Now we're looking at the front camera again, 1080p 30 frames per second. Same spot in downtown. We have a little bit more light now so you can really see how good of a job the video's doing in this low light environment. The details that it's able to preserve with the camera right there. Again, 1080p 30 frames per second. This is unedited in any way. Here's your 4K 30 frames per second sample during the daytime. You can see the quality just being held in my hand right here. So you can see the raw unedited video, 4K 30 frames per second. Now we're walking at 4K 30. There's my dog Doug right there. You can get a feel for the quality again, just holding the phone in my hand. No other stabilizers used. Here's another video at 4K 30 frames per second. Now we can go to our wide angle right there. So we're at 0.6x versus the default 1x right here. So there's 1x, phone's in the same spot, and there's the ultra wide lens right there, capturing some great video for us in 4K 30 frames per second. Now we're testing out the mic quality of the Google Pixel 5 when you want to use this to make or take phone calls. This is your raw, unedited audio test of the Pixel 5's built-in microphones. You guys can gauge how it's going to sound when you're using your phone. One of my favorite features that's available on the Pixel phones is the built-in call screener. So I'm going to show you guys what that's like on the Google Pixel 5 right now. So let's go ahead, let's make a phone call and let's try it out. So you can see I have an incoming call right now from Digital David. Let's go ahead and screen it.
Hi, the person you reached is using a screening service from Google and will get a recording and transcript of this call. Go ahead and say why you're calling.
So you can see right there, it takes care of everything for us. And now we can wait for a person on the other end to provide us with more information. Your car's warranty has expired. This is urgent. So there you go. You can see we got a reply. Now we can give more prompts.
It's difficult to understand you at the moment. Could you repeat what you just said?
And Google Assistant takes care of everything for us. And then once we're done, we have other prompts if we want to say something like this, or you can just hang up, or you could accept the call if it is something important. So in this case, let's go ahead. Let's just end it with this.
They can't talk right now, but they'll give you a call later. Thanks, and goodbye.
It's that simple, guys. It's a fantastic feature. I use it all the time. Now the test you've all been waiting for, the Google Pixel 5 5G speed test. So first I want to mention that I live about 30 minutes outside of downtown Cincinnati. and I'm using Google Fi and their network to conduct this test, which means we're using T-Mobile's 5G network. So keep that in mind. If you're on Google Fi, you'll be using T-Mobile's network in your area for 5G coverage. So first up, you can see the Google Fi 4G LTE speeds that we got when we conducted this test. And now you can see the same speeds we got using the Pixel 5 and 5G. Yeah, look at those results. So for download, we basically tripled our download speeds. For upload, we basically increased it by 10x. Unbelievable. All the tested apps work great, no issues at all. Honestly, 5G is so fast that a lot of people in my area, if they're using Comcast, Spectrum, Cincinnati Bell, don't even get those speeds. So that is just incredible. Very blown away by the technology of 5G. That's super exciting for the future of all things mobile devices and content streaming and everything else that we do on our phones. So the Pixel 5 supports wireless charging. I have an Anker wireless charger right here. I'll go ahead, I'll link to that product below for you guys. Let's just gently set it on the charger. And there we go. It's charging just fine. No issues at all with wireless charging. But the exciting feature this year with the Pixel 5 is the fact that we can actually share the battery and wirelessly charge other devices from the back of our phone. So again, we can turn that on just by dropping down our taskbar and selecting battery share. So once we have that turned on, guess what? We can take a device now that charges wirelessly and charge it off the back of our Pixel 5. So guess what? I have Pixel Buds right here. Let's go ahead. Let's set them on the back. And now you can see they're charging just fine. So hopefully you can see the light on the back of the Pixel Buds right there. It's got a faint glow to it, but you can see it's charging just fine. Now you can really see the light right there. But there we go, guys. That's battery share. Now the last test we're going to do is the water resistance test. And the best way to do that is to actually just drop our Pixel 5 in this bowl of water. So the Pixel 5 is rated to be submerged in up to 1.5 meters of water for up to 30 minutes. Let's just drop it in this bowl and see if it still works. So here we go, guys. You can see the phone is on. And now let's just drop it right in. All right, rip Pixel. Hey, doing just fine. I see the screen. It's not working underwater with my finger, but that's okay. Not expecting it to. But you can see we have it submerged in this bowl of water right there. So far, so good. Nothing weird. Here it is. Now we can drop it the other way in. Check that out. We can take it back out right here. All right. Yeah, there we go. Hey, look at that. So far, so good. No issues at all. We can set it back in. We'll give it a couple of seconds in there. Nothing weird though. No issues. Just hanging out in a bowl of water. No big deal. So if you drop this in the sink, toilet, maybe even a lake, if you can recover it quick enough, you're not going to have any issues. I just wouldn't recommend taking it swimming or anything like that. And obviously keep it out of the ocean and away from any salt water. If you do happen to get your phone wet, might not be a bad idea to power it down and definitely spend some time drying it off. So it works fine if you submerge it in water. You're not going to have any issues. Just get it out as fast as possible and hope it doesn't go very deep if it drops off the dock or something like that. But in this case, no issues. All the buttons still work. Everything is fully functional. So very impressed that we're able to submerge it in water and still have a working phone. So overall, my final thoughts on the Pixel 5 are as follows. This is a well-rounded and solid smartphone. Google did a great job with the Pixel 5. This might be my favorite Pixel to date. They really focused on the things that matter. They didn't get flashy with having a flagship processor, top of the line performance, things that us as a consumers have to pay a lot more for, but don't necessarily get a great rate of return. But they focused on the things that matter, like the screen. You use a screen every day on your phone, and it's a great screen. Definitely a nice improvement from previous generations. Let's talk about that camera as well. A fantastic camera, and we finally got our ultra-wide lens. Well done, Google. It does not disappoint. All-day battery, too, with the 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And thanks to Google's awesome software, we can really get a lot of extra juice out of that device. And simple things like wireless charging is always great. and the fact that we can now wirelessly share our battery with other wireless devices. That is a great feature to have in a phone. Let's not forget too, it's 5G and we get blazing fast speeds. So again, everything you do day in and day out on a smartphone, this phone does it great. It exceeds at it. Browsing with a great screen, taking a bunch of great photos, using mobile data on 5G networks. You're gonna get incredible performance with this phone. Having a phone that lasts all day with its battery, yeah, check. Pixel 5 does that as well too. So again, Google really focused on the things that matter with the Pixel 5, and it really shows. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.